obviously there's a little bit of back and forth going on, and now Christian Pulisic has answered via call it what you want on CBS with the homies. But here's Pulisic's quote. It said, "I did want to be a part of at least the 2 friendlies. They said no. They said they only wanted 1 roster. It's coach's decision. I didn't understand it, but it's their call, and he respects it." Do you think this answers questions or creates more questions?
It creates one other question.
Exactly.
It doesn't sound like Pochettino was like, "Hey, all good. Go take a break. I'm sure you need it." It sounds like he's saying, "Oh, you're not willing. You want to just do this halfway,
right?
And you don't want to play in the friendlies and the Gold Cup. No, we need somebody that's going to be all in." Playing all the games. I only want 1 roster.
Right.
I'm not changing it up after the friendlies. So that is where it begs the question: like, is Pochettino not happy with Christian Pulisic? And there's no, and we don't.
We're trying to parse something from.
Yeah, we don't necessarily need. We that answer doesn't really matter because Christian Pulisic is the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah.
He's going to get called up every single time. There's no way he is not.
Right.
But it just gives the notion that like, hey, maybe he's not happy about this, and just kind of saying like, hey, this is like a boundary for me. Like,
right.
You don't want to play? Then no, you're not going to just do the 2 friendlies. And it's a little bit of like, if you're Christian Pulisic, don't even say the 2 friendlies because it doesn't align with the story of like, that you're fatigued and that you've been playing a lot of games, which I completely understand. If he would have said, I don't think my body is just ready and capable to even play in these 2 friendlies and let alone the Gold Cup. I really wish I could be there, but I think it's better for me for the future that I take a break and rest from these matches. But by saying, "Oh,
exactly.
I'll play in the 2 friendlies," it's like, all right, well,
let's rank the best case answer, which was 1, what you just said. I'm actually too tired completely.
Yeah,
my body is broken down a little bit. I need to rest. This season was a lot more intense, and if I'm gonna have a good season next season and be ready for the World Cup, I should probably take this time off. Difficult to take, but easy to understand.
Yeah.
Second best case scenario is he says, "I'll play in the Gold Cup, but I can't do the 2 friendlies. They're friendlies. So let me sit out the friendlies and I'll play in the Gold Cup." And Pochettino said, "No, I want 1 roster."
Right.
The worst possible is I said, "You know what? Let me do the 2 easy games and then y'all can handle the competition on your own."
Yeah.
And Pochettino said no. So what now we have to do is read into this.
Yeah.
And what it seems to me like is Pochettino was like, "Oh, you only want to do 2 friendlies? Nah, man. I only want to have 1 roster." And you was like, "Oh, okay. All right, peace." And you're like, "Well, that wasn't the answer I was looking
Thanks for understanding, Mo.
Right? Yo, babe, Poch gets it, bro. And he called Weston like, "Yo, don't even go, dude. He don't want us there.
You're good. Don't even text him back.
Yo, don't say nothing. We good
chilling.
Yo, Landon said he got my back. He's gonna say some stuff." Basically, what you've done is you kind of told the world that you didn't want to be a part of the competition. And if that's because you're fatigued and you're this and you're that, I can't blame you. Dude, I do not know what it's like to be a high-level athlete. I have zero clue. All I can tell you is we don't have a lot of runway, man. You know what I mean? Like, we have 1 major competition before this World Cup, and you've chosen to sit out that competition. So there will be questions asked of you, and this does not. And you know what? In a way, and I hate to say this because I think he's a good dude down inside, the blame lies solely on your feet now, Christian. Not you, Christian Pulisic.
What did I do?
Yeah, did you tell him not to go? Because this is what happens when you are. I can only assume that he's not the most comfortable on camera and on mic. So what I take from the way he speaks when he's being asked questions differently than when he used to do the streams with McKenny and those guys, you know, the gaming stuff. When I see someone who either has an answer pre-thought in their brain or pre-scripted, or 2 is going through the machinations of like, how do I answer this correctly?
Yeah.
That media speak, because you're afraid to be yourself on camera. Whether that's maybe you're just afraid of public speaking and you're not that vocal of a dude. From the documentaries, it seems like that's exactly what it is. I'm only guessing. But when you only do the coach speak or the media speak, when you do the media training talk, it ends up like this, where now you leave more questions open versus answers that you've given. You need to find a way. And I've said this before, give us 3 weeks with this man, and I will show you how to speak confidently on camera.
Cooligans boot camp,
Bro, I'm dead. Honestly, who's better than us to do this?
Sure.
You cannot go your whole career being the guy that answers every question with like, as soon as you do that, I know you're answering the way you were trained to answer.
Sure.
As soon as you hit the because you're buying yourself more time. You need to find a way to be confident on camera. You're the captain of this team. The World Cup's about to be in this country. You cannot keep going forward going, well, the coach said this and I said this. No, you need to say, I was fatigued. I cannot handle it. Yeah. I spoke to the coach. He would have loved for me to be a part of the roster. I told him exactly what position I was in, blah, 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 with my physical health. And he said, you know what? Don't do it. Done.
Yeah.
There's no questions now.
This could have been a nothing issue. And then again, it leads to Landon Donovan making comments.
Tim Dempsey, Tim Howard. And they're talking about your heart. They're not talking about your physical health.
Exactly. Or like your commitment to the team. Yeah. Which, in the interview, he did say that was the frustrating thing, that he didn't like his commitment to the national team question. And then Tim Howard is responding and being like, yo, he DM'd me. He was upset. I told him to call me. He didn't call me. I told his dad could have called me. And it's just like, bro, it's getting.
Look at where we are now. Also, you can't change the situation. You not being a part of the Gold Cup squad is going to have people like Tim Howard and Landon Donovan and Clint Dempsey challenging your commitment to this team and your heart in these moments of playing for the United States national team. There's no question. That's what caused it. You change that by answering that question or coming out before that happens to let everyone know what the situation is. And when you're doing the blah 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 blah, the robotic answers, now there's more for us to divvy up and figure out,
like pick apart.
It's ridiculous.
It's not. And maybe this is just
3 weeks. You ain't in the Gold Cup. Come here.
This is a maturing thing and growing up thing, and to confront these things. I think ahead of the controversy.